And so the idea of collecting your stars being clean stains off the carpet, I'm so into that. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
Need more coffee.
Hello.
There are two different sides of this discussion. I think I very much was concerned about having flow and giving the player agency and having a smooth kind of very less talk. I think is basically sums it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading through the script and I was like, we're stopping the player 3 times in succession. I'm going from A to B to press a button to have a chat, and then from B to C to have a chat, from C to D to have another chat.
Yeah.
Was the structure.
Even if you are peeing in one of those times, it's still not that exciting.
No, like that's charming detail, but as a player I still can't move around or do anything.
Yeah. It's very complicated because we want to have this sense of community and found family in a share house. But a lot of horror is feeling isolation, and you don't need that, but it really, really helps.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't want your housemates to feel useless, which we don't.
Yeah, I think, and that comes back to, I think there will be times when they're inaccessible. And we've already started thinking about that right then, where it's like, you have these lovely moments where you go and talk to them in their rooms, and then for whatever reason, they've gone away. So, yeah, we're having that chat, and then we bring, well, what do you actually do? If you're not, having these 3 conversations or talking, what are you then doing in this thing, which brought us to chores, talking about chores.
Yeah, so this section of the game has a bunch of chores where you're being forced to kind of pre-inspection clean your house in a very upsettingly specific way. And so I'm building it up, and all the questions that, like the specifics as you build something that come to light. Like, okay, if I'm greasing the hinges of these wardrobes, does that mean on the easiest, I'm just clicking a button on the front of a wardrobe, one each wardrobe done? Doesn't feel much like a chore. At the worst end, I have to find each hinge for each double-doored wardrobe, so 4 per wardrobe, and click on each of them, and then test it to see if it squeaks still or not. And then there's the in-between where there's kind of the hinge side of the door, and so you just like click on that, click on that. But I don't know, because we played Chiller's Arts, that's hard to say, the convenience store on the weekend. And what year was that? That was before Mortuary's Assistant, wasn't it?
It was 2020.
Yeah. And so it was a horror game with chores because you're working in a convenience store. Not quite the same list as Mortuary, but still the same kind of idea. And it really got me, I really love that that's been something that I thought was a fun, novel idea, is just a standard trope in horror games that I haven't really noticed or maybe seen before. But then really when you come down to it, collecting stars in Mario is just a shopping list of chores as well.
Yeah.
It's just given a veneer of adventure.
Yeah, just a different package.
And so the idea of collecting your stars being clean stains off the carpet, I'm so into that. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think looking at those games, between those games, Mortuary Assistant, Convenience Store, and not so much Devotion, but that's a nice space of where we want to be in terms of complexity. I was thinking of Pentiment, where it has you get 80% of a task done and it finishes the rest for you. Because Pentiment has 1 or 2 that kind of cleaning up task or
like
solving task.
The graphite on the paper.
Yeah, and then it finishes it off for you. I think we're just at the first stages of tweaking, starting to balance those elements of how much talk, how much.
I find it really funny that you're on this big less talk bender when we've spent the last week playing Pentiment. Yesterday you played Citizen Sleeper.
I did, and had a great time.
And they are walls of text.
Yeah, but we're not making that game.
I know, but just interesting.
Yeah.
Like, this is walls of text and I really love it. Let's not do this.
No, actually, I was thinking that this morning. I'm like, ooh, it does make me want to have juicy case files more though, and like more files of like maybe Janet's background about the magic and witching stuff and that kind of stuff that we haven't really touched on, because we've had law, yeah, I'm drawn to that, but that can be purely optional, I think, for the player rather than sifting
Absolutely.
through
I mean, like any,
huge amount of
we
stuff.
always love, like, I always think of Control and the case files in Control.
Yeah.
And there was such the most delightful things to read. I've never devoted so much time to reading the case files because they were just joyfully written and so absurd, such a delight.
Yep.
And entirely optional, but gave such wonderful context.
Yeah, just I'm excited for that moment, and that I always enjoy in horror games like Silent Hill or Devotion, where like I'm just gonna walk around the house and read and look into things, open drawers, have a look out of windows, that kind of thing. That's what I enjoy in horror games. Speaking of silence,
That's true.
I enjoy walking around finding creepy little clues, messed up little messages, hints.
We gotta work on this encyclopedia system, don't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I love getting up the file document with that stupid file document sound, that foley of the. Yeah. Yeah, I love it.